Okay, hello. We are going to do a video on how I make my income purely from home, and it has nothing to do with followers or anything like that, and I get it all from social media. I talk about it a lot on my TikTok. If you guys want to go follow my TikTok, go over little overviews, but TikTok's short form content, so I can't really cover things, and like I DM back and forth because I have a lot of girls want to do the same thing, and so I'll send them like voice memos and stuff, and I talk to a lot of people over DMs. But this is my first full-length transparent video where I'm gonna go over numbers, like exact numbers on what I'm making, how I got into it, how you can get into it, how you can scale it faster, because obviously everybody through like a trial period of something, and then once they get to that point, they're like, okay, if I went back and did it again, this is what I would change. I'm gonna give you guys that. I'm gonna give you guys a able to go from zero to making like a lot compared to me when I started. I like slowly amped up because I didn't really know what I was doing. Anyways, we are going to go over income. I obviously have like little small sources of income that are like brand deals on my TikTok, which don't pay, like I don't do like anything crazy. I'll make like one video every once in a while that's like 100 something, but that is not a big source of the income. I also have like Depop, like I have like random little ways that I make money sometimes, but for the most part, this is it. We're just gonna go over January really fast. I was moving from Hawaii to Tennessee and all my stuff was in Utah, so I was like bouncing around a lot. This was definitely one of my slower months, and I made $8,303 purely from UGC. So UGC stands for user generated content. Basically, that's when like an app, I'm gonna give you guys a popular app example so that it kind of makes sense to everybody, but let's say, okay, we're gonna use Depop because I was talking about it. Let's say Depop wants me to promote them and advertise for them. Basically, let's say Depop hits me up and they're like, hey, we want you to be a UGC creator for us. I'm gonna create a brand new TikTok and a brand new Instagram for them. They're gonna tell me what to name it. They're gonna show me how to warm it up, how much I'm gonna be posting. A lot of people have you post twice a day, so it's 60 videos a month. A lot of them have you post 30 posts a month, which is 1 post a day. It fully just depends on the company that you're working for. Warming up basically just means 2 days where you're not posting or doing anything and you're just scrolling, because TikTok wants to push out your videos if you're interacting with your For You page. If you act like a bot and you like, I used to do this sometimes, but like, say you never scroll, which like, who doesn't scroll? But let's say you never scroll, you go onto your page, you post a video, and then you get off. That's like bot behavior. Like, you're not interacting. TikTok wants people to use the app, and so if you're commenting, if you're following, if you're scrolling, you're watching everyone's like full videos instead of just scrolling to get through your For You page, if that makes sense, it's gonna push out your content. So the warm-up period is basically just like scrolling on your For You page, commenting, saving videos, reposting videos, saving sounds. Warm-up for Instagram isn't as like critical, if that makes sense. A lot of companies, they want you to follow at least 30 people, but not like spam follow. Like over those couple of days, sometimes it's like 2 to 3 days of you warming up your account. For example, Depop hits me up, I'm gonna wanna look up things in my niche. So I'm gonna go over to the search bar and I'm gonna hit like fashion or reselling or things that are in that niche, and I'm just gonna scroll until basically after the 3 days my For You page should fully be reselling, making money from selling clothes, and fashion, things like that, things that are in the niche. So that's what the warm-up period is when I refer to that about this. But we're gonna go over specific numbers. Like I was saying, January I was moving around a lot, so that was like one of my lower months, but I've had months where I make like 5,000 or 4,000, and then I also have months where I'm making like 15,000 just based on bonuses, because obviously if you get good views and your videos do good, they're gonna reward you. A lot of the time they'll do payment through PayPal, they'll do it through direct deposit, which I promise it's safe. Like, don't get sketched out by it, because most of the platforms are safe. If you really want to, you can do research on whatever platform they're having you fill out, but most of the time it's like the brand and then what they're doing the bank transfer through, and then you'll give your information to the bank. They don't see it, that's just how they send it to you. So usually it's not, everyone gets a little scared because they're entering their like bank information, but it's usually just fine. Now, each deal, when you're starting out, before you can like talk your way up, it definitely depends on experience. If you're really experienced, you can ask a deal for $1,000 a month for 1 post a day. If you're first starting out, usually it's like 2 posts a day for like 500 a month. So it's like you slowly work your way up to the experience. But take any deal you can just to build out that portfolio and have some credibility. You don't want to go over to them and be like, hey, I want more than this, but you don't have anything to show for it. Like, or if you do have something to show for it, you have terrible views. That's not help you, you know? You just need to build credibility somehow. Take those lower paying deals, those higher posting deals, and then once you've built it up, you can slowly build up a good base of deals that you like, that aren't annoying, whatever. A lot of communication also is through Slack and Discord. Those you'll slowly figure out as you go, but I know as you get into them, they're really annoying. We are gonna go over how to be the most successful with this, but let's continue where we're at. I think that's a clear enough explanation. Also, if anybody has any questions, comment it. I am more than happy to answer questions on this because I know it's a lot to cover. It's hard for me to explain. I probably started this in like April of last year, and so next month I'll be coming on a year of it. I have a lot of like experience in it and I know a lot about it, but it's hard for me to remember and bring all that information up now. I'm also just trying to answer questions that people ask me on my TikTok and people DM me. So I'm trying to like answer things that I feel like people would ask about it. A lot of people are like, how do I get these deals? There's an app called SideShift. It's kind of getting oversaturated. There's like a lot of users and not enough brands right now, but if you download SideShift, you can just go and like hit apply to all these different ones, and most likely you're gonna get a call and you'll just talk about it. If it's your first time doing it and they're like, do you have any past experience? Just tell them like, no, I love creating content. I don't have any experience. Honestly, this is gonna be like fortunate for some people, but unfortunate for some. Yes, you can do it if you're a guy, but girls do better. The prime age to do it is between like 17 and 25 because they usually have a lot of like study deals. They want college age. That's usually the prime age. And so if you're in that range, perfect. Like you're more likely to get deals. For some reason, boys just don't perform as well. So a lot of companies don't necessarily like look for it, but boys do really good. Like my boyfriend does it. His friends do it. Like guys can do really well with this. It's just harder for them to go viral for some reason. So getting your deals, you can do SideShift. As you get into the space, I feel like it's a lot easier to get deals because you know people, and so you can message them and be like, hey, what deals are you on? You also can find it through like agencies, stuff like that. So there's like a lot of ways to do it, but getting your foot in the door, the hardest part for sure. Like getting your foot in the door and getting a couple of deals, and then it'll be flowing and you'll have people DMing you. They'll DM you on your accounts because they can tell it's UGC, and they'll be like, hey, I have a startup, do you want to do this? Knowing people, like I have a lot of people who DM me asking for deals and I can just refer them pretty easy. So definitely getting your foot in the door. SideShift's a good way to do that. If you see people who do UGC, like a lot of people will post on TikTok and they're like, in the life of a UGC creator. If you DM them, they usually can refer you. Or like if you DM me, I'll refer you to a couple of deals. So like you can get your foot in the door, and then once you build that experience and you have connections, it's a lot easier. But I promise almost like literally anybody can do it. And you need the credibility of doing deals in the past to be able to talk your way up, but you honestly don't need any experience. As long as you're comfortable being in front of a camera, you're fine. Like this is face content, so you can't expect to make money and be like a faceless content creator. Like you have to show your face, you for a lot of deals have to talk, stuff like that, but it honestly isn't that difficult, and like anybody can do it because you're starting at 0 followers. So it's honestly an awesome opportunity. Also, a lot of people are like, how do you know if it's a scam? And like they love contracts and stuff. Contracts usually don't really mean anything because if they legally, it costs a lot of money to legally like drop a contract that's actually binding. Does that make sense? Like it's hard for people to get a real contract. Yes, they can type up a little Google Doc saying I'll do this and you both can sign. It doesn't really mean anything. Like you have to get one actually drawn up. Most brands don't pay to do that. They kind of just do it for like the peace of mind. Think about it. I had one deal and I did 30 million views for them. And there's this thing called a cap on deals, which is basically where like, let's say I'm getting a $500 base and then I have view bonuses, and once I hit $1,500, they'll usually cap it. So let's say I have a video take off and I get like 5 million views on a video. Technically, with their view bonuses, that's $5,000, but they have a cap on it because they don't want to pay people out too much. And so I just maxed out and I hit the 1,500. The deal that I had a contract with had no cap. They had this payment structure set up I hit 30 million views. I took them from over the top 100 to number 4 of photo apps on the App Store. And literally a lot of the employees were telling me, they were like, yeah, this video's done crazy good for us. We were saying like how big it was for their company and how much revenue it was bringing in. They edited the like contract, put in a $2,000 cap. Even though like, just because they didn't want to pay out like $30,000, which makes sense. But it's like, I'm not gonna legally take them to court. It's gonna cost more for me to take them to court and potentially win what I'm gonna get from them. Does that make sense? So it's like contracts, yeah, they mean something, but let's say a deal says they're gonna pay you out and they don't pay you. You're gonna be paying more than like $1,000 for a lawyer than getting that money. Yes, you can get kind of screwed over, but like if they don't give you a contract, it's not the end of the world, because I manage a deal and a lot of people are like, do you guys have contracts? And I'm like, no, we don't legally draw them up. And then they're like, okay, I'm not doing it. It's fine, I can find like a bunch of other creators, but it's like, contract doesn't really mean anything, because let's say something were to happen, what are you gonna do about it? So don't worry about contracts. People are like, if they don't give me a contract, is it a scam? It's most likely not a scam. If you're worried about it, the best way to get credibility is to find other creators that have worked for them and be like, hey, did you get paid? I rarely have gotten scammed creating. I've gotten scammed with like management deals, to where like I'll manage a team for somebody and they won't pay me for managing, but I've only got duped out of money a couple of times for creating. Now we're gonna talk about numbers, and then we're gonna go into how to be successful with it. We're gonna go into numbers of last year. I added up how much I did. I didn't include anything that was under $100. Like I had a lot of payments that were like 50 bucks, 70 bucks. And I also had a lot of payments that I remember how I got it, so I couldn't track it, if that makes sense. Like went into my bank account obviously, but I don't remember which platform it went through. I also got some as like 1099s. This is what I tracked as my income of things I didn't receive as 1099s. So through actual tax forms, I made $1,000 from UGC. And I added up, didn't start ramping up UGC until like September, because I started in April, but I only did one deal for a couple of months until I realized it's like a thing. And a little over $38,000. The $8,000 from the taxes and this, and then that's probably not tracking. Random $2,000 somewhere. You ramp it up in September, I made $38,000. Which is insane. I would say the most I've made from one deal is $3,000, just because I don't have a cap and I hit view bonuses. I've done really, really good with views. Count, I had 10 million views on TikTok, 10 million views on Instagram organically, but they had a $2,000 cap. So it's like, I didn't make $20,000 from that. I made $2,000. But if you're doing like $500 deals, you're still gonna make a lot, because think if you get 5 deals at $500, that's you making $2,500 a month. A lot of people don't make that from their like full-time jobs. I wasn't making that from my full-time job where I clocked in 9 to 5. You know what I mean? When it comes to being successful, how I talked about the warming up accounts, warming up your account correctly, and then like scrolling, interacting with your For You page as you post is gonna be huge. You also can't have over 4 accounts on TikTok, or else they'll get shadow banned. So I'll show you guys. I have 1, 2, 3, and then I have a 4th phone over on my nightstand, which you can get, like, this is an iPhone 13. You can get a $200 brand new iPhone 13 from Walmart. Think about it. I can fit 4 deals on here. That's $4,000. I'm paying $200 once to have a $4,000 add on my income. Obviously I'm making a lot more videos, but I mean, it just makes it seem worth it. It's not that big of a purchase if you're making a lot more. When you're posting to Instagram specifically, I like TikTok. I edit all my videos in TikTok. I like doing things through TikTok. It's just a lot easier for me because that's the platform that I've had the longest. If you just upload your video into Instagram and post it, since you didn't edit it in Instagram, Instagram's not gonna push it out. So a good tip is when you upload your video from TikTok, like cut the video in half, keep it the same, but just cut it in half, add a little bit of text on it, drag it off the screen, add a sound, mute it, obviously like a caption and hashtags. Do that, it seems like, even though the video is the exact same as it was on TikTok, it seems like you edited it in Instagram, so it's gonna push it out. Lighting has a lot to do with it. I like natural lighting, so I try to make my videos during the day when it's bright, like this. I think that is basically it. I definitely wanna hear questions. If you guys want to have a part 2 on this, I am more than happy to do a part 2 and go over more things about UGC and making money online, because it's definitely opened a lot of doors for me. If you want to see my short form content that I post daily, go to my TikTok or my Instagram. Also, subscribe to my channel and go look at my other videos. I had like a health transformation that I love to talk about. I love doing vlogs, going over how to make money online, glow up tips, getting back into the routine of things, basically everything, but I just like having my online best friends. So, okay, bye.